everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reverse 1999 with Starborn Feline here, my friends. So, pump the mic, I'm sorry. I'm doing some stuff out of the way. So anyway, we are picking up on what should be the last episode of this chapter. It's going to be a bit of a long episode, so buckle in, people, but you're not going to want to miss this. There was one part I couldn't help but spoil for myself a little bit. I think it wasn't the very ending of this chapter, but there was an interesting part that I kind of got wrapped up a little bit, saw through to the end. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. The first circle, thus, the proof is complete.
First circle. That's what the incantation says? That's it. The investigator in Vienna reported a similar thing. An ancient miracle, a circle of salvation. Arcana even drew a circle in the air while saying it. She did it so nonchalantly, as if it were a meaningless gesture. We didn't think much of it at the time. Once we confirmed that it did not affect the casting of the incantation, we forgot about it and moved on. I can't believe I overlooked it.
This is not your fault, Ulrich. The gesture was overlooked because it did not really help the research. Our focus was on practical application rather than understanding the incantation itself. If the incantation means the first circle, how will this be helpful to the research?
I see! I understand now! Well, Vertain, I don't know why you can read it, but I do know that Gal is thrilled by your interpretation. Because you mentioned her favorite shape, the circle. Yes, the essence of the incantation is a circle. But what kind of circle is it? In topology, any closed curve on a plane can be classified as a circle. Aha! Told you! Look, Vertain, let's go back to the Rosetta Stone hypothesis. Based on the hypothesis, if the incantation and the numerical code share a common essence, which is the key to the storm immunity, and we now know the incantation refers to a circle,
then the essence of this numerical code should also be a circle, right?
yes. Before this conversation, I had no idea which direction to take. The numerical code could be a snippet of an incantation, or it could be a geometrical ritual array. I had a lot of theories to go on, but testing them could take weeks or even months. Worse yet, if my line of thinking was completely wrong, we could waste decades of time and effort. But the Rosetta Stone hypothesis is easy to verify. Let us suppose that the incantation and numerical code share a similar essence. We know that the incantation does work, as proven by the Awakened. If the incantation is a circle, then the numerical code should also be circular in nature, and has the same effect as the incantation, which is a circle that saves people from the emanation, and can also be experimented with by the Awakened.
If the experiment works, then the hypothesis is true, and vice versa. I see what you mean here. It really is an easily provable hypothesis.
To my ears, you're just trying to prove that the code means a circle, because you're really into circles.
Not specifically. I simply like it because it's a great shape. But I don't understand. +1, -1, +2, -3, 3, -3, +2, -1, +1. How do these numbers relate to the circle?
The first circle.
Yes, it was the timekeeper who translated the incantation. And according to the investigator in Vienna, Arcana also drew a circle when she cast the ritual. But experiments have shown that the gesture has no effect on the ritual. We thought maybe it was a symbolic gesture.
No. It is no way just symbolic. Arcanists excel at condensing their experiences into symbolic representations. Signs, totems, elements, these are primitive symbols, and some are sources of power for Arcanum. At least that's what the Foundation's textbooks tell me. That's why arcane skills can only be enhanced by mediums that align with their symbolic nature. Precise materials are required when creating soft discs for each incantation. If the incantation symbolizes the first circle, and if we were to create a physical form that could be mass-produced for everyone, will that form have to be a circle too?
Oh, I should have thought of this. The simplest things often hold the deepest meaning, as always. So, the first circle... what could it be? A wheel? A piece of rope? A pendulum? I spent too long on the wheel and the bearing, not realizing there was something more promising. A circle can also be seen as a knot with no crossings. An unknot. This could be a variation of a closed curve. A knot. Knots were how the ancients of the Incas and Chinese collected data and kept records. But which knot is it exactly? The Jones polynomial of the trefoil knot is t plus t cubed minus t to the power of 4. The figure 8 knot is t to the power of -2 minus t to the power of -1 plus 1 minus t plus t squared. While the cinquefoil knot, t squared plus t to the power of 4 minus t to the power of 5 plus t to the power of 6 minus t to the power of 7. I could go on all day. There are 165 different knots with 10 crossings, 9,988 knots with 13 crossings. But which knot is the code referring to? +1, -1, +2, -3, +3, -3, +2, -1, +1. Of course I would hear these digits instead of anything else. The scroll transcribes the truth into a format I can understand, so it must be based on a mathematical system I already know. I have all the knowledge needed to break the code. Just need to follow my instincts and pick a system. And the Jones polynomial is the first thing I could think of. Right. The second 3 I heard sounded different from the other 3s. That 3 must be the constant term of the polynomial. Then if we use this 3 as the origin, like a number axis, the left side is the coefficient for the negative exponents, and the right side is the coefficients for the positive exponents. Eureka! This string of coefficients is the shorthand of a Jones polynomial. If we assign the 8 coefficients to the 8 corresponding exponents in a Jones polynomial, we get its true form. T to the power of -4 minus t to the power of -3 plus 2t to the power of -2 minus 3 times t to the power of -1 plus 3 minus 3t plus 2t squared minus t cubed plus t to the power of 4. A knot with 8 crossings. Vertain, Apiron did give us the answer. The key we've been looking for, the most profound secret, the language of the divine. No sound or text is needed, just pure structure, the very form of the essence itself. It is a beautiful shape, a simple knot.
A knot? Great. Now there is only one step left. The verification. Did you hear that, Madam Lucy? Can you help us verify the authenticity of this knot?
Of course. I have paid close attention to the discussion. This polynomial produces a single unique knot. We can now tie a knot to test it.
Madam Lucy? Is the signal dropping? Madam Lucy, can you hear us?
I can. It worked.
Okay, so that took a little bit of a dramatic turn there. For a second, I felt back in math class, but then that happened. Let's see. Thank you, everyone. The ritual core is complete. We have successfully overcome the challenges we faced, and all that remains is the symbol and mass production. Our research on the storm has come to a successful conclusion. We are also collecting names for the ritual core. If you're interested, please feel free to submit suggestions below. Below are examples of suggestions we have collected. 37, Lucky Not. Not even going to read that. Absolute Universal Powered Storm Immunity Device. And a number of other ones I'm not even going to try and get into. Alright, so let's go. Hop into the next episode. I'm not going to ponder too much about it. Lucy is still a goat. I'm not going to lie. She's a goat for using herself as a test subject like that, knowing that she could be destroyed permanently. But anyway, mirrors and curtains, a mirror, a razor green, and hands reaching into nothingness.
I never thought it would be the Timekeeper and the Apeiron Arcanus who'd solve the problem. But now even humans can cast this ritual.
Indeed. The knot is the physical form of the ritual we were looking for. Surprisingly, the numerical code yielded practical results. I thought it was necessary to report this to the Timekeeper's organization. It was her contribution. But it did not go well.
Forgive the interruption. What's a knot?
I will be glad to answer your question. Knot theory is a branch of algebraic topology. In mathematics, a knot refers to a connected closed curve in three-dimensional Euclidean space that does not intersect itself. They can also be described as shapes in three-dimensional space that are homeomorphic to circles. Knot theory focuses on the entanglement and configurations of closed curves in three-dimensional space, rather than the curves themselves. Since all closed curves are homeomorphic to circles, they can all be topologically categorized as circles. A knot equivalent to a two-dimensional circle is called an unknot, and
I don't mean to question Laplace's expertise, but this approach may not be the best solution for widespread implementation. The concepts are complex even for us, let alone others. We can't expect to give an advanced math lesson to every individual under these circumstances. Doing math before the storm. Nobody's got time for that.
as it turned out, presenting a technical report was much too premature. We should have a complete and official report once the immunity gear is produced.
Maybe you can change your approach the next time you report to the Foundation.
I simply gave them honest answers. But this solution is deserving of widespread implementation. All we need is a piece of rope and tie it end to end. And spend 3 to 5 minutes to make this knot. This can be done anywhere, at any time, by anyone using any type of cordage. The oldest, fastest, and most basic ritual, the key to braving the storm, is a knot.
Why didn't you tell the House of Intercartus? I'm sure they would have funded us generously.
I will make sure to put it in my interdepartmental report. But at this point in time, the knot only functions like an incantation. It is not suitable for widespread use until the research on the side effects and the converter are complete.
In any case, I've completed all the tasks you assigned me. My last plea is, please never put Ulrich and I on the same team again. I'm surprised that you're not in the lab. Something bothering you? Wait, don't tell me you're charging here.
Excellent job, Researcher Adler. You have proven that you are keeping the locations of public outlets in Laplace in mind, which is a positive sign for your resocialization. But I am powering up to reach my optimal condition, preparing for what is to come. The Scroll of Apeiron, the final piece of the puzzle, the key to minimizing any negative effects caused by the incantation.
Wow! The designers on artificial somnambulism could use some of this inspiration. Look at the clouds, painted with a syndrome of colors and interrupted by a glorious streak of rainbow. It's truly a masterpiece. Funny. They're flying towards the headquarters out of instinct. Maybe they can sense immunity zones. These little beasts would make for a good study. But I'm not in the mood to take any prisoners. Fuel and ammunition are running out. Maybe I should storm the Vice President's office with them. But other people might get hurt there. Never mind. Dive into the lake? But the splash might wet the scroll. Wait, isn't that...
Miss Lilia, this way.
Ha! Good timing.
Enemies intercepted. Ally landed successfully. Miss Travis, the Elitiaus are all ensnared in vines.
The winds of triumph sweep through the woods. An excellent flight, Miss Lilia. We will take it from here. Come, everyone. We shall vanquish our foes with the aid of the woods.
Okay, so we're seeing all characters coming back now. Let's see here. Let me adjust. No, yeah, I'll leave the team as this right now. Shouldn't be too bad. Don't do that. Sorry. Switch you up.
Let us get to know each.
It's an honor to meet you.
There you go. This should do. Oh, Marcus is a seagull. That's cute. I wonder what that says about them as an individual.
I can hear it. It is here. I can hear it. It is here.
That's...
Tu peux la jeter maintenant. La charme d'opéra excellence.
How welcoming. Oh.
The moment of utterance.
Party planner.
Let's see. Getting rid of some of these little
Break
guys.
it. Break it.
I can hear it.
Okay, we got
Mon
everything
officier
spread
n'est
for
pas
next
un
turn.
capitaine.
We're not doing a ton of damage, so that's fine.
Where's the
Time
party
for tongues to
start?
speak of
Where
truth.
is it?
The moment of utterance.
There we go.
The story begins with a bad adult who did this first. Take that,
It's one down.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance
And
needs
then
to be restored.
this should get rid of another one. Nice.
Benefit from reading.
Give me these
The
all
moment
nice
of
buffs.
silence.
Hello,
Heal.
Pinata.
It is here.
Debuffing.
Did anybody get hurt?
Ah,
How welcoming.
Oh, that worked out. Let me just start using some CP.
What a tragedy. I can hear it.
the moment of utterance.
So we can start just...
Soffocare
This will do a
sangue.
nice little tongue.
Soffocare sangue.
There we go.
Benefit from reading.
And we're down to one.
It is here.
Hold on.
I can hear it.
The moment of silence.
In there.
Hello, Pinata.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant. La charme d'opéra.
Learn from silence.
I said hello.
Nice.
It's time to say goodbye.
And I really didn't have
Don't
anything to say
miss
to
me,
this,
really.
this battle.
I'll be back.
The special operations squad is ready to go. Dr. Kakanya, are you really going to stay here?
Don't worry about me, young missy. This won't be goodbye forever. Besides, I have already provided all the help I can, right? I made Isolde show us the ritual and kept her under control, and now you've figured out how the ritual works. To test its results, you will need a couple of volunteers.
But you heard the report from Laplace. The possibility of surviving the ritual is nearly zero without the converter and the scroll and...
Nearly, they said. But not surely. Plus, where else can I go? I was born and raised in this city. This is where I came from, where I lived and where I belong. This is my whole world. I despised the maggots under its golden surface and fought for the justice and fairness in our society. But I also cherish every detail of this city, from the intricate carvings on the theater columns to the dirt trodden by dockworkers. All of these things made me me. My family, my friends, my people, and my operas and culture are all here. I never once thought about leaving this place. I have never thought about destroying it either. Being washed away with it would be a just punishment for all my sins.
I wish I could be as brave as you are. See you, Miss Clara.
Hurry, ladies, before any of us turns into one of those exquisite paintings! Sorry, but the headquarters is too far for the teleportation disc from here. You'll have to bear with us smelly old grunts for a little longer.
Goodbye, Miss Marcus. Sharing this hour with you has been an honor.
Is your birthday approaching, Doctor? I made this for you. Turquoise and topaz, just like you and your eyes. Please accept my blessings, Doctor. May your life be filled with joy and contentment, and may your courage guide you through all that comes your way. You are worthy of all the beauty and goodness this world has to offer, and I will hold you in my heart and in my prayers forever. Süße Träume, Frau Dittersdorf.
Madam Lucy, any progress on the research?
Okay. Not much to report here. Not much to the end of this episode. I am just trying to keep things moving so we can see what comes and what happens. But yeah, it is sad. Kanye's rolling the dice. She feels she needs to be punished for her actions. And I feel that's a bit unfair for her because she wanted to make things better through peaceful means. the Manists took advantage of that and used it to their own ends. So she feels responsible for that, when she herself, Kakanya, is not liable for the action of others. Yes, she inspired them, but the goal was not to inspire them to do violence, to inspire them to do better. So I do hope, I do just hope to see where we go from here. Alright? So, hymns and odd hymns odd bacchal. So I will rejoice, dance freely, and savor my wine.
Six is awake? Fabulous! Now everything is perfect, like the number 10. He will be happy to hear that I've cracked the code. I did it, Vertain! I have proven the light of truth still shines. With some time, communication, and a flash of inspiration, we can bring it down from the unattainable skies and let its radiance illuminate all. And I've also proven that the truth is not out of reach or too distant to grasp. So, once Sophia knows about this, she'll come back to us, right?
I'm sure she'll be happy with what you've accomplished, 37.
Did 210 and 888 go to get 6?
You don't seem that happy. The Star of Hermes deciphered the code of Apeiron. She found a way to cross the emanation. We should all feel happy for her. Yet here you are, so indifferent. It is because you, too, know that what has happened will not change, regardless of whether she figures it out or not. A meager ritual to save people from the emanation is nothing compared to the disruption of the law above. It also cannot change the fact that our faith is dead. We're talking about how the island has sunk, and we're now sailing in a tsunami. A tiny miracle, a spark of inspiration, won't save the ship from the wrath of the tides. To be honest, I was surprised that she asked such a practical question. I guess the trivialities of the phenomenal world did eventually affect her. It's a shame that many others lack her determined will to see beyond the void of our broken reality.
What's your point?
Can't you see? I'm getting a rise out of you. Who would have thought that our great, perfect, honorable leader of the School of Apeiron has been a nihilist all along? You never revered the truth, did you? That's why you kept us in the dark for 4 years. You never respected our beliefs for a second in your life.
The people who seek the truth are more important than the truth itself. I may not understand that ever-shifting number, but I do understand and respect the people here. So you know the secret. What now? Now that you know the truth could lead to a nihilistic void, I wonder if you would abandon our doctrines, our wisdom, and our inheritance, and step into the darkness in a fit of rage. When truth fails, sophistry prevails. Correct?
Ha! We cannot deny that fate, the unspeakable, holds wisdom beyond our understanding. Perhaps it does take a resolute skeptic, an impartial nihilist, to steady this ship and remain detached enough to look on from the sidelines. It's a pity. This was supposed to be the best time of year to make wine.
Six! You're here! 888 said they're holding a celebration before the arrival of the emanation, in honor of the living and the dead. Will you join us, Six?
37. Do you remember the story of Socrates?
The one you told me in the cave? The trial is over. Why mention it? You should answer my question first. Wait, are they holding the ceremony outside the immunity zone? I told them to go to the meadow near the top of the mountain where they will be completely safe. I've checked my calculations over and over, leaving no room for error. 888 must have made a mistake. I need to warn them.
"37. Either be wise, uninvolved, and look on, or be practical, involved, and suffer. Which one will you end up choosing?"
You mean all we need is a piece of hope?
Yes. In recognition of your extraordinary contributions, Laplace is honored to present you with the fruits of our labor. This knot is the result of our research. The knot has been validated as a working ritual on both humans and arcanists. With the help of other arcanists, we found methods to avoid side effects and conducted small-scale experiments with success.
So are you saying we can...
However, since the experiment is still in its early stages, it involves a variety of materials and complicated rituals that are not yet possible for transmission. Nor can we deliver you any experimental equipment, as the storm is about to make landfall. The knot acts as an equivalent to the incantation, but it does not guarantee that we will meet the casting requirements or avoid the likely side effects. I apologize, Miss Kakanya. Perhaps the result of our work will not really help your situation.
You said the knot works on both humans and arcanists, right?
Yes.
That is more than enough. This is the best news I've heard so far. There's a chance for everyone.
I have 2 more pieces of good news. First, the curse is not inevitable. Our experiments showed a 0.49% likelihood of no side effects occurring at all. Second, the closer the storm gets, the more pneuma fills the air, leading to a greater success rate of the ritual. Yet, even with these factors combined, the rate of success is still extremely low.
It's all right. With millions of people trying, there's hope that at least one person will succeed against the odds. Thank you for sharing this with me, madam. I will do everything I can to spread this knot in Vienna. To the Arcanists, humans, Magyars, and Germans, they are all my people, regardless of their social status, profession, or race. They all deserve the right to survive.
Madame Lucy, I can only assume you acted impulsively and overlooked the proper application process. The knot is new and not ready for widespread testing. Distributing it in Vienna could lead to more casualties or even fall into the hands of our enemies. I must remind you that this is a clear violation of the regulations set by Pax Security Council, the St. Pavlov Foundation, and the Laplace.
Ah, yes. How careless of me. But I did tell her I would share the results of the research. And this is what you call a promise. And the database says, a promise made is a promise kept.
My brothers and sisters, put down your cups for a moment and lend ear to me. We were born extraordinary, yet estranged from the world around us. Throughout the ages, we wandered the world like a ship lost at sea. Despite the instability and chaos, we persevered. And together, we sought after the truth that would illuminate us all. Through introspection and contemplation, we cleansed ourselves of hatred, madness, and delusion, and embraced the value of beauty and harmony.
Yet now, our shattered faith mingles with the rubble of this phenomenal world, as specks in an unjust timeline. As remnants of a tide long receded. The dream of the transcendental world is broken, and the order of the transcendental law is no more.
Our sanctuary has crumbled, exposing us to live in a world filled with conflict and turmoil, where we will be trapped in the wheel of birth, doomed to repeat the mistakes of history for eternity.
But do not despair, for there is another way to the truth. It is a path fueled by unbridled passion, one that was stifled by moderation and restraint, a path that transcends the individual, breaks all boundaries and limitations, and leads us back to the essence in a fiery blaze of glory.
This path is the emanation which we stride into for the ultimate truth of our journey.
Doctor?
Finally, someone I know! Ilich, gather everyone you can and have them read out these steps in the plaza for all to hear. If possible, go to the telegraph office or use a printing machine to copy flyers. Distribute as many copies as you can. I'll go to Leopoldstadt and find the Gracchus brothers. They know where to find abandoned military hot air balloons.
What are you talking about, Doctor? People are too busy trying to escape. I want nothing to do with those crazies. This? A guide for tying knots? Don't you know the world is about to end? So many warnings. Who'd want to read this?
The people who want to survive will read it. I can't guarantee anything. It's a gamble for our lives. But people have a right to try before doomsday arrives. Ilich, please trust me one more time. Please.
Fine, Dr. Clara. If this works, your coffee for the rest of your life is on me.
Why? Why? Why are you still leaving? I found the truth. I completed the test. I deciphered the code of Aperon. Why aren't you stopping them, Six?
Hello. Are you joining them, Miss Marta?
I find myself uncertain of which way to go. Would you kindly give me some guidance?
The guidance I can offer you is limited, Miss Marta. I think fate knows its own fate better than anyone.
Thank you for your advice. I think I understand.
Carri
So, the storm of 1914 has come and gone. Fate can be cruel, it can be irrational. The choices have been made, the dice have been cast.
My dear child, look at you. You're exhausted. I couldn't be of help then. But it's okay. The party is over now. At least let me brush your hair, darling. Or your hair will get all knotted. And it will hurt you when you try to untangle them.
Indeed, it's happened more than once.
I'm not surprised. An old friend of ours, not. Often we learn our knots before we even know how to read and write. A knot could be an obstacle that breaks the consistency of a flow, and also a reminder of forgotten things. You can use just about anything on hand to make a knot. Leaves of grass, the fur of an animal, even fallen hair. But the sturdiest knots are tied with rope. Knots are often found in many stories. Signify promises, counting and measuring, an instrument of salvation, and one of execution. Oh, I could go on all day. The influence and power of knots can't be overstated. It is said that it was in the cutting of the Gordian knot that Alexander became the Great. Just touching the meters-long rope provides blessings to the faithful in Bellum. And tiny knots on strings can carry the history of an entire people. The ancient Inca called it quipu. The intricate variations of hundreds of fabrics, colors, and lengths of strings were used to record their stories through the ages. And to think, Shakespeare only had 26 letters to create his masterpieces.
Isn't there something a bit more practical?
Just look around you. Don't sailors use knots to mark depths and mend sails? Or coachmen tying knots to rein their horses? And any respectable lady or gentleman knows the knots they must tie about their necks to stay in fashion. Or consider the knot-like helix structure of DNA and the changes in states of matter. Invisible to the naked eye, these knots carry some hint at a universal law. That there might be a string, like the quipu, an endless rope that records in its knots everything in the world, one that can't be seen, yet there it is, everywhere, all at once. Maybe you can tie this knot yourself. Use your hair, then form a loop, pass the end through it, and tighten it up. There you go. I hope you keep this knot as a record of the words we shared here.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't think about often. Knots have a lot of meaning in life. You always hear how people say, like, when they're nervous, their stomach ties themselves up in knots, or when people are shitting out, they'll tie themselves with knots. There's some stories of how the knot that bound the world, or this, that. It's basically, it's one of those things that goes back to into history and how the things reflected our culture as a whole. But anyway, let's just keep going, moving forward. Like, still got a little bit left before we hit the end. So yeah. So I said, buckle in with me, people. We are in for the long haul here. So let's see. The two numbers. Two numbers each represent a pure essence of its own.
I don't understand. I should be giving them my blessings. They're brave enough to return to the essence. But instead, sadness washes over me. I should feel happy for Sophia, now that she knows her soul number. Yet, I am filled with sorrow. Why did you all leave? Is it because I wasn't fast enough? Is it because I didn't do well enough?
Go, 37. Leave the island to the world outside. Ms. Vertain, you're clearing a path out of the mires of the phenomenal world. I sincerely hope you will steer it away from the horrors of war.
It's our duty to do so.
Also, the person you were looking for, I am not familiar with a biographer named Erd. However, in my recollections from the previous 6, there was a lady with a soul number just as unique as yours.
Are you saying?
Sadly, these vague scraps of information were all that I inherited. I hope they will be useful to you.
Wait! 6, where are you going? Everyone is gone! Sophia, 210, 888, and now you too?
I'm returning to the cave, 37. There are still people who refuse to be caught in the cycle of hatred or give in to unrestrained passion. The entrance to the sacred place may be destroyed, but the people's faith is yet to be extinguished. We will persist in studying the scrolls, copying the scriptures, and restoring our halls. We will worship the Ancient One in penance and work to rekindle the flame of our broken beliefs. The island is a manifestation of our choices, a haven removed from the phenomenal world, a place of order and harmony, and it is our determination that will sustain its tranquil existence.
I will go with you!
No, your choice has already been made, 37. You should not go back. The sorrows and doubts you have can only be alleviated by experiencing the outside world. Thousands of years ago, the first faithful ones fled from the Roman Empire and journeyed to this island, where they founded the school of Apeiron. 500 years ago, refugees from Arabia found shelter here. They filled the cavern's shelves with copies of their writings and texts. Half a century ago, scholars who had their research exploited for warfare came and expanded our knowledge on modern mathematics. There were many 37s and 6s among them. Yet, are we any different from them in essence? Even if we are no longer here, the numbers 37 and 6 will still exist. Even if the island sank, these numbers would reappear elsewhere. The integer sequence is infinite, 37. Rather than clinging to a set of specific numbers, you should go and work out your own calculations and conclusions.
So now you're choosing to be wise and look on. But I don't understand. How could one be wise by being uninvolved and looking on from the sidelines?
You overestimate wisdom, Ms. Vertain. It can't do everything. Wisdom can free people from ignorance, but it can also lead them to a nihilistic void. Yet, someone will always seek this wisdom, even if nihilistic, to briefly rise above their worldly troubles and find some relief. And someone will have to stay here and provide a neutral haven for the drifters of the phenomenal world, and give the lost souls a harbor to return to.
Wait! 6! Wait! Wait, 6! Atticus! Will you leave a door open for me in your cave, like when we were kids? I know the transcendental law is in disorder, but that doesn't mean the truth is gone. I will carve a new path through the chaos, calculate better solutions than ever before, and delve into the phenomenal world to discover all it has to offer. By then, if I run into problems that I can't solve, can we talk about them together? Like we used to?
Yes, a door will be left open for you, 37. Both you and your friends can come in.
It's a promise, 6.
Zeno sent a ship to pick us up. Let's go, 37. The researchers of Laplace would love to meet you. Are you nervous? Afraid of the unknown world?
Maybe a little. But I will get used to it. Because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
And so, I understand the choices made here. There are still those who need to be led, and 6 chose to be that leader. He also saw that 37 to better advance herself and to find the answer she needs. They weren't going to be on the island, so she has to go out to the world beyond. And so, we're going to see what's coming up next. I don't know what will happen next, but I am excited to see how the story continues on. And we are almost at the end at this point. Just a little bit longer. Into the umbrella and the hooks. It may not be important to remember the end era, but it's important to remember the people.
We are prisoners within these cavern walls. Our gaze is held captive by the shadow's thrall. Until our hands clasped and our chains rattled, we united to break free from our shackles. The sightless joined forces with the soundless, and the voiceless uplifted the helpless. Together, we assembled a sliver of truth, a piece of the world hidden since youth. Have you got something for me, Mesmer?
Yes. They asked me to give this to you. The culmination of our research, the crystallization of man in all its wisdom, the protective gear against the storm. An umbrella. Something you personally don't really need. It's called the Equilibrium Umbrella. This is the first model, consisting of a converter, a harmonizer, and a ritual core. The converter generates a balancing field that can cast rituals in the storm, taking account of the wielder's capabilities. The harmonizer's markings are inspired by the scroll of a Peyron. Madame Lucy tested it against 162 known side effects and found it to be highly effective. The original scroll has been returned to the island. This is only a simplified and duplicated rendition.
The 162 curses aren't all of them, right?
Correct. There may be other unknown side effects, so the umbrella is only a prototype in the testing phase. And the ritual core. At first it was called the 37 Lucy knot in honor of the 2 main contributors. However, both of them turned it down.
Yes, I still remember what 37 said at the time. She would rather name it after the mathematical properties of the knot, even if it's too much of a mouthful.
No. 37 is not a name, and the truth should not be dressed up with anyone's name. I only found it. I didn't invent it. I don't need something named after me to prove my sense of existence. But I'm not on the island anymore. I can understand that the imaginary numbers need to honor the discovery. You may use another contributor's name for it. I'm willing to accept that.
Madame Lucy showed no interest in the naming rights, so it was transferred to the third major contributor, Adler Hoffman. Sadly, researcher Adler also rejected the offer. At first, we nearly ended up using the date of that day as the name. But he changed his mind after confirming he could use his family name instead.
The Hoffman nut? You named it after Madame Hoffman?
Yes. Researcher Adler Hoffman wanted to make sure that Greta Hoffman would never be forgotten for her selfless sacrifice. Level 4 Investigator Marcus, please accept this umbrella. It is rightfully yours. Given the incredible contributions you have made, you are welcome to apply for a well-deserved and extended vacation.
No. I will request for permission to go out. My era is gone, but with this umbrella in hand, I will venture into the new world and marvel at what's to come. Will the sucker tort taste the same?
And lastly, the asymmetrical nuclide R in the handle of the umbrella is supposed to protect against the storm syndrome, but this still needs to be confirmed through testing.
It's okay. This is the one thing we need the most.
If you have no further questions about its usage, I'm heading back to the rehab center. The afflicted researchers there are in dire need of my magnet therapy.
Don't you think 1 is not enough for my needs? I think 5. No, 15 might be more helpful. My suitcase can't protect humans from the storm. They'll need the umbrella to survive. In the future missions, I may encounter lots of...
Just a reminder, Timekeeper, this is only a prototype. The application forms for the umbrella are available in the Foundation lobby. Feel free to apply for as many as you need.
Thank you, Mesmer. "37 was right. It is a beautiful shape indeed."
Hey, Vertain! Did you get it done?
Yes, it went smoothly. I was expecting something more complicated. So, to get the umbrella, you only need to fill out forms.
Huh? That's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about the brave and glorious sacrifice of my Apple II. Don't you think the Foundation should compensate me with a shiny new ship?
Oh.
Oh? What do you mean, oh? Are you saying you totally forgot about it?
Easy, Regulus. Those people are likely buried in paperwork right now. Just be patient and wait.
Lilia, how was your commendation ceremony?
They rewarded me for escorting the important item during the storm. How is delivering a scroll worthy of a reward? I'll say someone should be grateful I didn't crash into the committee building. Take it. Might be useful for your alchemy.
Oh, let me see. Oh, thanks, mate. It's made of pure gold. On behalf of the pirate community, I thank you for your remarkable contribution to alchemy.
I have one too. Please forgive my lack of contribution, Timekeeper. It seems the awakened woods have embraced tranquility once more. Perhaps a sign of good things to come.
I'm glad to see you back on your feet, Miss Truvis. In fact, there's a place I'd like to introduce you to. A flourishing island that survived both war and the storm. I think a talented druid like you would be of great help to them.
Sounds like a place to look forward to.
Nice job, Druvis. It's not as big as Lilia's, but it is made of a rare kind of metal.
This is a good start, Captain. This apple thinks we only need 300 more medals to afford a new ship.
You read my mind, Mr. Chief Mate. When will Zeno's ceremony be held? This captain is not a fan of these ceremonies. So, could they just mail me my medal?
Did I miss something? Are we holding a medal exchanging party?
Sotheby!
But I don't have a medal. All I have is this big round golden...
Captain, I think we can buy a new ship with this.
Regulus! Regulus! The Timekeeper asked me to request a new ship for you, and we have the approval. The Foundation will rebuild Apple II and pay for its maintenance. Huh?
Funny you say that, Sonetto. Now we have 2 new ships.
Always good to get these, especially after something like what just happened. We still have a few loose ends here and there, but we're getting there. I will admit, it does. I do want to say this earlier, but I didn't want to bring on the mood. It does feel like the ham-fisted some of the solutions here, just a tiny bit, but I'm not gonna complain about it too much, just because like this also is lining up to lead to a bigger story beat later down the line, obviously, because Vertain instantly knew the spell that they were working. He knew the phrase. So a little, I wouldn't call it maze soup, but like I said, a little bit ham-fisted there. But it's implying that Manus may have had some kind of contact with its mother at some point, so I'm curious to see what's going to go from there. And an umbrella is an appropriate tool to be given out for the storm. And now, the curtain call. She brushes off raindrops from her shoulder and steps into the new world. My bad, I didn't realize you didn't need to auto. I was too caught up in the moment.
"15 plugs. This should be enough to cover all socket types at our destination. Simone, pass me the experiment log, please." Come.
Madame Lucy, is it true? Are you leaving Laplace?
Yes, the inquiry is over. This is the decision of all parties involved.
You have got to be kidding me! After all the incredible contributions you've made, they're suspending you? This is absolutely ridiculous! Without you, there would be no umbrella, and everyone would have died from the side effects!
But many did perish because of me. I had underestimated the danger of the ritual, and it ended up spreading uncontrollably. Did you not once have the same opinion, researcher Adler-Hoffman? It is surprising to see you change your mind so quickly. But that is just what Laplace needs. The spirit of rationality and self-evolution. I can imagine how they came to this decision. They must have considered the backgrounds of all the employees, including their social status and race. After 8 years, we finally created an umbrella to withstand the storm. However, our methods for achieving such progress and breakthroughs were too much for some to handle. People needed an outlet for their frustrations, so someone had to be held responsible for the accidents and casualties. Numerous complaints have been filed against me, accusing me of being a cold, heartless opponent of humanity. Within the Foundation, Zeno, and even here, some are starting to question the idea of having an awakened piston as a leader of Laplace. They argued about my arcane abilities, unsure if I had them under control or if they were becoming unstable and affecting my ability to make rational decisions. I did give the nod to Miss Kikanya in violation of the confidentiality agreement. But ultimately, it helped people survive, and that is all that matters.
So they're questioning your standing because you're an awakened? An arcanist? They're doubting the rationality of a machine that values technology and progress above all else? Could anything be more absurd? Even I, a human, was on the verge of giving up. It was you who convinced me to save our species.
My question is, why are you so upset? This does not affect you. In fact, you may be promoted. Laplace is setting up a new department, and you and Ulrich should have been invited to head it.
Weil das verdammt ungerecht ist! Diese Leute kennen dich nicht. Sie haben nicht mit dir gearbeitet oder dir zugehört. Und doch ernten sie freudig die Früchte deiner Arbeit, während sie dir keinen Respekt erweisen. Der einzige Grund, warum du suspendiert wirst, ist, weil du, ein Erwachter, nicht wirklich sterben kannst. Oder sie würden dir jetzt eine Ehrenmedaille auf deinem Grabstein verleihen.
Maybe you should take up that offer. At least you will get a promotion as a just reward. By the way, Ulrich ended up receiving a medal. But like you, he was not exactly thrilled either. He is outside the committee building, refusing to eat in protest. But everyone knows how resilient the awakened can be. It is going poorly. I will suggest that one of you take this position. No one knows this research better than the two of you.
Not a chance!
The research must progress, and you also need to ensure that the results will not be abused.
Scheiße. You're right.
The punishment does not bother me, Researcher Hoffman. Power exists only in your dictionary, not mine. From the moment of my awakening, I have been unable to comprehend you creatures. And even now, that remains unchanged. We operate in different ways, just like how our fuels differ. But the bright side is our paths align. Whether we are creatures or machines, humans or arcanists, most of us strive for a better life. It is this primal desire that drives progress. That is why I put on the mask of a human and work on improving my appearance and speech, all for the sake of better communication with you. Unfortunately, my efforts do not always pay off. Some say that the more human-like I appear, the more different I seem. But I am who I am, and my motivation is not to gain recognition from others. Our aligned path leads us to progress, and that is all there is to it. Thanks to the invention of the umbrella, Laplace can now resume its research unhindered. And if there is someone better qualified to lead, I am more than willing to remain a humble cog in their machine. Besides, Miss C introduced me to a beautiful resort. The lake there is rich with arcane power, perfect for an awakened arcanist like me. Not only is it a resort, but also an independent team with a good amount of freedom. My only concern is if they have adequate power supply. Oh, rust might be a problem. Perhaps I should ask Researcher X about his titanium derust machine. Time to go, Simone.
Madam Lucy, please take a look at this before you go. This is a report you compiled during the storm countdown, detailing 126 side effects and how the scroll alleviates them. I have some questions about the data for Type 34.
Yes, I can see a few errors in here. Unfortunately, I have to complete all of the handover procedures today. Perhaps you can ask Mr. Ulrich about it later.
The side effects left a mark on you, didn't they? There are 162 side effects, not 126. There was also an obvious typo in the data for Type 34. We noticed it long ago and corrected it. Took only 5 seconds. You sacrificed so much for this report, yet you could not see such glaring mistakes. You called me Researcher Hoffman earlier, a name you haven't used since you took over Laplace 8 years ago. To avoid confusion with my sister, you and our colleagues started calling me Adler instead. How much data did you lose to impair your research abilities like this? Is this why you have to leave Laplace now? The progress you've made has helped so many, but at what cost to your own well-being?
We should go, Madam Lucy.
Goodbye, Researcher Adler. Thank you for correcting my mistake.
All right, fine. I'll take up that role and do what you've been nagging me to do. I'll take care of those pesky committees. But just so you know, I'm not doing this for the higher-ups who look down on us, but for the people who look up to us from below. Madam Lucy! All attention! Salute!
Simone, why are they throwing papers at me? Are they rejecting me and banishing me?
On the contrary, madam, they are showing their reverence.
Oh, I see. Let us go, Simone. I miss the Laplace chargers already. There is a 230-volt bath at the resort, right?
So, reaching the chapter. I'm not going to worry about replay. It's basically just having a site that we can do for events, to gain extra materials. You basically just refine Arcanas, bosses, or and you can just match whatever skill or characters you want. And again, my type of picks would probably have to be Seleno, 37, and Lilium. For respective skills. But we're not gonna get that. Again, so if you hit the end of the story, we're just waiting for this bit to come out. I want to thank you so much who've been joining the story, and I want to say that this game has shaped out amazingly so far, and I hope to see it continue on doing good work. But until that time, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit all the notes down below so this video can be shared so more people can see this game and see how amazing it is. Comment down below. Comment down below. This is more of a little bit of a stick it to YouTube kind of thing. Comment down below if you follow me or not. I've been wanting to see who has followed me, and I want to be giving you shoutouts from my YouTube followers for a while now. Again, YouTube has changed things one more time, so now all I see is that I have a number of followers, but not who is actually following me. So, if you're following me, if you just try to follow me actively, just mark it down below and I'll give you a call out at the start of whatever my next few videos are. But for the time being, thank you so much for watching, and remember to be kind, try to create something new tomorrow, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, this has been Starborn Feline saying, signing out for the time being, saying goodbye.